Good morning, lovely dolphins, both big and small. This morning I have decided to read a story that found its way into my bookshelf probably about 5 years ago. It's a story called A Garden of Whales, and A Garden of Whales is by Maggie Steincrohn Davis, and it's illustrated by Jennifer Barrett O'Connell. It's a fantastic little book, and my inspiration behind reading it today is that on our beautiful local shores of White Rock Beach, a beautiful beluga whale was caught in nets and ended up stranded on the beach. So this morning he passed away, and within every fiber of my being, I would like today to be about contributing to the whale consciousness and all that it offers. And how can I be a contribution to that consciousness, and what can I do today that will also contribute to our planet? This is something that potentially we could ask ourselves every day. And what if we could get to the point on this planet where we're actually waking up and going, okay, beautiful Earth, what can I do to contribute to today? And what if fishermen and other people that do those kinds of work, what if they ask the simple question, what could I do today, Earth? Can I drop my nets here? Is there a better place that I could drop my nets? Because I know that the Earth wants to supply us with food and shelter and sustain our life. I know that. But what if we became so in tune and in communion with her and with all of the cosmos that we could actually start to live our lives in that connectedness? And the other piece that came of it, and it's really amazing to see this whole process unfold, because yesterday I went to the Eagle Park, and at the park there were, dozens of eagles flying around, as they always are there, and I can feel what a contribution they continually are. And as I was there, I could feel the whales in the bay, and the water was like calling me. And then I thought, that's interesting. I can really feel the Gulf Islands. I can really feel that energy in the water and all the way out the bay. And then later that day, my husband hopped on his motorbike, and he was pulled to get on a ferry and travel out. So there's something energetically that we were in tune with and picking up on that probably that little whale also picked up on. And then also, as we went down to school to drop the kids off today, walked into the classroom, the teacher didn't know anything about what had happened to this little whale. And she had set up all of these marine life displays and learning centers about whales, dolphins, little tiny shells. So there's clearly something that nature is trying to tell us to pay more attention. And what if we could pay so much attention in the moment and be so much in the moment that we could actually hear the gifts that nature have for us before she has to scream them at us? On that beautiful note, this is called A Garden of Whales. Magic words. In the very earliest time, when both people and animals lived on Earth, a person could become an animal if he wanted to. And an animal could become a human being. Sometimes they were people, and sometimes animals. And there was no difference, and spoke the same language. That was the time when words were like magic. The human mind had mysterious powers. A word spoken by chance might have strange consequences. It would suddenly come alive, and what people wanted to happen could happen. All you had to do was say it. Nobody can explain this. That's the way it was. This is from an Eskimo song and story. This is a pretty powerful book. Those are pretty powerful words. When we were down at the beach today, Julia, my 6-year-old, blows my mind away. She's looking at the whale, and she gets this far off look in her face, and she goes, "Mommy, I think maybe he might come back as a human." And at that point, I could feel the spirit of this beautiful baby whale, like a wet blanket around the whole inlet and everyone there. And there were hundreds of people that showed up to be in the space with this creature. They're so magnificent, and they're right around us, and we can actually connect with their energy no matter where they are. And I really think that that little whale actually is going to shift a lot in people's hearts. So I'm looking forward to that. And it was funny because the people around me, I could hear them, wow, it's so humid. It's not usually this humid out. And I love it. I love it because we notice, but we don't make the connection. So what would it take for all of us to start seeing the patterns? And not only the patterns, but to start seeing the choice points. So what if we could have all been there early enough and started asking the question, like, what would it take? What do we need to contribute to you to keep you alive until the tide comes in and until we can see you floating so that we can get the marine help? You know, what if we could actually change what's going to happen by being so present in the moment that we can start to shift the old energies out, and you actually find yourself within that choice point looking out at the limitless choices that are available, and you get to be like what they say here. A word spoken by chance might have strong consequences. It would suddenly come alive, and what people wanted to happen could happen. So a garden of whales. Last night in my tub while I scrubbed, I dreamed that I lived in the sea with the whales, magnificent whales, mysterious whales, mystical, musical, mountainous whales. I heard their flukes slapping. I saw their skins shimmering. The whales were singing their heart songs. They sang how whales came to live in that sea, that children once rode upon whales in the sea. Natives give thanks for the whales in the sea. In the sea, the whales sang to me. They breathed, and their breath was the breath of the sea. Then deep in my dream, I trembled. I dreamed that danger surrounded the whales. I dreamed it surrounded the innocent whales. Whales, I cried, whales, swim away, wheeling around them with rose-colored light, spinning around them in circles of light, circling the whales in rings of rose light. I raced to comfort the whales. I tried to rescue the whales. But nothing I did helped the whales. Awash in my tub, I thought of a plan. I thought of a plan to bring back the whales. I roused all my friends to help the great whales. From all the world over came help for the whales. And here you see these beautiful children, the cherubs of our planet, so connected. They know how they can help. They know what contribution they can be. Whales, we cried, give us your tears. Your tears are the seeds we will plant in the garden. Each will take root in our secret whale garden. Seeds that we plant will be tears of the whales. The embodiment of magic. Up from the sea rose the ghosts of the whales. Up from the gray, empty sea rose the whales. Blue whales and humpbacks, gray whales and fins. They rained down their tears in our secret whale garden. Families of whales were reborn in our garden. They grew and they bloomed in our garden of whales. In all different kinds. And all the children nourishing the garden. In the dark of the night, when the time was just right, when the time was just right, we took up the whales. We took up the whales in the dark of the night and slipped them into the sea from our garden. The whales all rejoiced that had bloomed in our garden. Nations of whales, celebrations of whales. The whole earth resounded with sounds of the whales. The whole earth resounded with sounds of the whales. There was a little girl down at the beach, and I heard her crying, and she sounded like a whale. I wish that I were a whale tonight. I wish that I were a whale of a whale, a clever old whale sharing my secrets, a kindly old whale loving my own, a kingly old whale ruling safe waters. I am a whale. The sea is my home. The welcoming bloom again. Sea is my home. Thank you so much for listening to The Garden of Whales. So in this beautiful moment for the whales, what contribution can we be to your consciousness, to the beauty you bring the planet, to your amazing vibration and downloads? And if any of you out there ever wonder what they contribute, just ask. Just ask, is it possible that I could receive a download from a whale? From their energy, from their beauty, from their consciousness? And you will. Thank you so much. Namaste.